I got the question, how long does it take to become a profitable trader the other day? And I actually wanted to answer this question just in a raw and true format. The five things that I would say would have helped me become a profitable trader much, much faster. And if you implement these five things, like seriously implement these five things, you will become a profitable trader. So it took 2 years just to get to that point. And why it took me so long is because there were so many different mistakes that I were making. Today, I've generated multiple thousands, and then I've also helped others be able to receive payouts as well using the same exact system. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. It took me roughly 2 years before I saw any profits in the market. It was 2021, I believe, when I had gotten my first payout from my Forex funds. This is a funding firm that was back active like 2 years ago, and I got like a $1,200 payout. Now, in order to get to that point, it literally took me going through like 5 different systems and a lot of like impulsive trades, like just bad decision trades. I'd actually lost like four to five other accounts before I actually had this one. So I took a 25K account, failed that one on the first day. Now, how I failed that one on the first day was because I took 3 trades all at 1%, and I didn't know that they had a daily equity drawdown. So price pushed up like 6%, but you couldn't be down more than 5% in equity on the day. And so all the trades ended up coming back to break even, taking me out at break even, but it came back down an additional 5%. So that breached the account. And then all of those trades wound up going to take profit, and it would have passed me the account that day. So I remember just being devastated by that. Like, I had talked all this talk about how I'm gonna pass this, I'm gonna be funded, yada yada yada. And it was an awakening, right? Why? Because I wasn't aware of that rule. So when trading firms, you got to be aware of these certain things. So I blew that account and then ended up blowing like 3 other accounts. There was one account that I had got really close to passing, and literally I was like a couple $50 away and wound up blowing the entire account. And obviously at this time I generally would take every trade at 1%, but I was taking too many trades in a single day. Which now I only take like 1 to 2 trades a day, sometimes even 3 trades max on a day, just depending on how the day is. Generally, if I get me a solid winner, that'll be it for the day. If I take a loser or if I get a break even, I'll take, additional trades. So it took literally until I want to say it was 2022, I believe, was when I got my first payout of $1,200. And I remember that I used my last $500. I was outdoor dashing. I was like, you know what? I could be trading in the markets. Like, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I spent at that point 2 years, studying and learning. And I'm like, I know how to do this. So I took the last $500 I had and I said, look, Lord, if this is going to be it, this is going to be it, right? So I need to pass this account. I need you to let me know that this is the right path for me. So I wound up passing that account literally on the last day. And at the time, prop firms had, challenges, or prop firm challenges had 30-day targets. So you had to pass these accounts in 30 days or less. Um, so it was literally the very last day, and I was actually down on the account like 6%. And it just so happened to be an NFP Friday, and there was no rules against trading the news back then. So I had put I want to say like 2% on an NFP sale for EUR USD. I remember what the trade was because I literally caught like EUR JPY the next week to pass phase 2 of the account. So I passed phase 1, and then on that very last day, like, I had to go up 7%, and I ended up making like 17% that day. Now, I did something that I would never have done before, and literally it was because the account was going to be gone that day, so I had nothing to lose. So I put like 5% risk so I put 1% risk on the first trade, made like 7%, was at like break even, and then put 5% on like a trade to go 1 to 2 risk to reward. And that ended up passing me the account. It was just a continuation of the volume. So I ended up making roughly about $6,000 to $7,000 on that account before my Forex fund shut down, and I ended up losing that funding in the market. So for those of you who don't know, I have a full step-by-step system of how I actually execute on the trades. So if you guys want to get that, you can just the video to that one will be linked down in the description. Now, why I'm saying that is because you need to have a proven system. If you have a proven system, and don't take my word for it, you need to go and prove the system for yourself, right? So what I would recommend doing is, one, journaling your trades. If you journal your trades, this will give you so much data onto how you're actually executing. And then how do you journal your trades? Well, I can explain how specifically I journal my own trades. So this is when I first started journaling my trades. You can see that I have the dates here, the pairs that I'm trading. Obviously, I was trading a lot of different pairs at the time. Now we've cutting down the chart list to 1 to 2 trades. What I was entering in, and then different things that I had. So at the time, I was trading a breakout strategy. I don't trade breakouts anymore. Why? Because of this journal specifically. And then you can see all the different stats. So I knew what my win rate was over the time, how many times I hit stop loss, all these different things, all these different factors. And I would set notes: entry, early entry, candle never closed below support, anticipated a wick fill, trend was up, start with top down analysis. These are different things that I would remind myself of. Why? Because it is important. So this actually helped me so much in terms of growth. It helped me to cut out on things that I was doing wrong and highlight the things that I was doing wrong. Specifically, there was a lot of times where I was getting in early entries, right? So there was times where I was just getting in early. There was also times where I would close positions just out of pure fear. And so you can see that, like here, with loss $141, TP would have been hit, closed at break even. You know what I'm saying? So there's different things that I was able to take from this journal, and that made me better in my execution. It highlighted some of the faults that I have. Like, if you don't journal your trades, then are you seriously trying to be a good trader? And I'm not saying that you have to always journal your trades for all going in the future. I don't always journal my trades nowadays. I do send a lot of my trades out, and then I record trades, things like that. So I do go over trades and review them, but I don't actively just journal. And there's other journaling softwares out there, like TradeZella, to name one. I know that's a big one. I haven't talked to TradeZella. TradeZella, hit me up, you know what I'm saying? So we could work out something. But yeah, there's just so many different platforms that'll journal your trades for you. You won't even have to do it, and you'll just have all that data. And then you can jot down notes, daily recaps of what happened today. These are things that's going to actually push you to be better. So, 2, the second thing that I would recommend is, literally, once you have a system, go and backtest 100 trades with a specific asset at a specific time. So what do I mean by that? If I were looking to start over and I was only trading NAS, which is what I recommend everybody to trade because it has a lot of consistent volume during the New York session, which is the session that I personally trade, which is at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. What I would recommend doing is going back through NAS for the past 100 sessions and taking and executing on trades within that session. This is going to do so much for you. If you just do it one time, I'm not saying that you have to backtest, 100 trades, every week, or you have to backtest all the time. But I'm saying, if you do this one time, 100 trades of a consistent session, the confidence that you'll have in your system, especially if you journal them, right? The confidence that you'll have in your system, or you'll be able to, identify faults in your system or in your psychology, that'll help you as well. But if you implement the system that I told you guys about, that I have, the 9-step system that we use, and you go through 100 days of NAS during the New York session, and I'm going to show you on the charts how to actually do this. This is going to help you tremendously. This is going to build your confidence in the system, and then your eyes will start to see it. It'll become clockwork. Now it just becomes having the patience and the discipline to do this every single day, repetitively, over and over and over again. So the second thing I say, literally backtest 100 trades. How I would do this is I go over the indicators tab, right? So I hit the indicators tab, I hit market sessions. Now, what this is going to do for me now is it's going to show me, and you have to go in here and customize it yourself. And it's called FX Market Sessions. So if you want it, it's FX Market Sessions. It's a free indicator on TradingView. So what you go to, when you do it, it'll have all these sessions. Click, you could just uncheck this session, uncheck all the sessions that you don't need, and then just check whatever session you are using. I recommend doing this no matter what asset you're trading. Each asset moves at a particular time in a particular session, or has a particular move or wave move in a particular session. And so backtesting the session that you actually can trade is going to be super, super crucial. So what I do here is you go over to history. We want to go to 100. We want to set that to 100. It's generally set at 10. You want to set it to 100, and that's going to give you the past 100 New York session days. And then you can click save as default and you're all set. So what I would do with that is I would go through each session, and just look at executing my system in each session. That's it. And you can see that with Nas consistently has a move every New York session. We have a consistent move which we can capitalize on based on the system that we use, right? So, and this isn't something, like I said, that happened overnight. This is something that took a long time to develop and finally put together. And now that we understand all the pieces, obviously there's always going to be tweaks and dings that you have to make, but the system works, and we just have to consistently execute it. Which brings me to the third thing that I would recommend doing, is having some type of mentor. Now, this is something that I slept on super, super heavy, and honestly, even today, I feel like I need a mentor in other areas and aspects of my life, not just in trading, but in business and finance, things like that, that can help propel my journey further. This is what Alex Hormozi says: if you can pay somebody to basically skip years, then why wouldn't you do that? Because our biggest currency is our time. So if you can afford to cut out 2 years of time, like, this is what he said he did. This is not just with trading. This is with anything. If you want to learn how to do anything, learn from somebody who's already doing what it is. And it can be harder nowadays, but I tend to look for value, not what people show you in terms of flashiness, but what people give you in terms of value, right? So this is what Alex Hormozi did. He had a gym launch, right? And so when he was going to do his gym launch, he paid somebody who owned a big gym. They had a whole bunch of different gyms. He paid somebody to literally be a part of a group to go to a meeting with a whole bunch of other gym coaches. So these are people who have been in the game for years and years and years. And what he said he did is, when he walked in the room, he was like, hey, so I have this idea to do, this for the gym launch. And they like, oh, no, don't do that. Do it this way. It's going to be much cheaper and it's going to be much better for you. And then it was like, okay, cool. So he wrote that down. He was like, well, I actually was going to, do this type of machine right here. I don't know what it was, but it was like, no, get just sandbags. Females get, hurt on those machines. I've had a lot of females get hurt on them. We don't use those. Just use sandbags. You can refill them. And he's learning all of these different things that would have taken him a long time to learn had he executed it on his own business. And he got to wipe all of that out with literally just one meeting of being in a room with people who had already done it. So it's so important, and we sleep on this because there's a lot of shady people in the industry, and that's why I try to give out as much free advice as possible so that you can have the discernment to tell whether somebody is feeding you bullshit or somebody is actually trying to help you grow. Just like with anything, you have to take some type of risk. There is going to be some risk on your behalf, a financial risk or whatever, but if that can help propel you further, then it's worth the risk, right? Because if it's going to save you 2, 3, 4 years, and just like how this video, me explaining the mistakes that I've made over the past 5 years, will help progress you, 5 years. right? You don't have to go 5 years to learn what I'm explaining now. And this is why I have my group in my community, because I want to help people learn and grow in this industry. So what I would say is super, super important is to have somebody in the industry that you can learn from and grow with, a proven system and a proven community. Now, the fourth thing I recommend for you to get better at trading as fast as possible is literally to start filtering your content and the content that you watch. A lot of people don't talk about this, but in order to like progress faster, I guess you could say, what I would do is I would just filter my feed with nothing but trading content. That way, every time that I'm looking at something, it has to do with trading, whether it's something that I can apply to my trading or not. That is something that I would do, is to start filtering your content around, people who are doing what it is that you want to do, right? People that you are getting value and information from. Start to filter your content with more people like that. And then also what I would recommend is like joining a community. So you can have a mentorship, and that's great, but also joining a community. Sometimes mentorships double as communities, or mentorees or mentors have communities as well. Just like we have a community, a free community that you can get in the description down below. Having people with you, like the biggest thing is trading is lonely, man. Trading can be super, super lonely. It's isolated. You have a ton of personal growth that you have to develop, and it's not easy. And so having somebody there with you, even me throughout my journey, I was not by myself. In the beginning, it was a little bit lonely, but I started to teach my friends. I started to teach my brother. And now, we hop on the charts every single day together. It's not like I'm just in there by myself. And what this is going to do is you have an accountability partner. Right? That's what having and joining a community is all about, is having people that'll support you and keep you accountable to what it is that you're supposed to do. Because it can become very easy to start taking trades outside of your system, to start taking trades that don't, getting in trades early, or, being fearful to not execute on the trades. Sometimes it's hard to just execute on a trade, and having that somebody there that's saying, hey, look, I'm looking for this same exact thing that you're looking for. Let's get in when we see our confirmation and execute it. It builds a little bit more confidence and allows you to take trades, I want to say with less stress, but with more confidence, right? So being a part of a community, super, super helpful. And I know early on when I first started that was super crucial for me, because your family is not going to understand, your friends are not going to understand. And so you need somebody who's going to understand the journey, people who are going through the same things that you're going through, because it can be hard not having somebody to politic about this on, to ask questions. What did I do wrong here? There's certain things that your friends and your family just won't be able to help you with in this industry, and you need other traders to be there with you. Like, this just, it helps so, so much. So I hope you guys were able to get some value from this. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting more content, more raw videos like this, not scripted. We'll talk about the charts and just dive into it, because this is really what I love. I want to get better and help people get better in this industry, and also to build businesses, talk business, talk motivation, mindset, how to grow, how to develop. That is what I'm all about. And so we're going to just keep diving into it. So hope you guys got some value. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.